Hi there, today we visit Cuba. Cuba is an island country in the Caribbean Sea. The country is made up of the big island of Cuba, the Isla de la Juventud Island, Isle of Youth, and many smaller islands. The national flag of Cuba consists of 5 alternating stripes, 3 blue and 2 white, and a red, equilateral triangle at the hoist, within which is a white 5-pointed star. The 3 blue stripes represent the 3 departments in which Cuba was divided at that time: the white purity of ideals, the red triangle, originating from the French Revolution, and the 3 ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, red for the blood and the courage, the star for the independence of Cuba. Havana is the capital city, largest city, province, major port, and leading commercial center of Cuba. The city has a population of 2.1 million inhabitants, and it spans a total of 781.58 square kilometers, making it the largest city by area, the most populous city, and the 4th largest metropolitan area in the Caribbean region. Cuba has an official land area of 109,884 square kilometers. Its area is 110,860 square kilometers, including coastal and territorial waters. The current population of Cuba is 11,320,309 as of May 2021, based on Worldometer elaboration of the latest United Nations data. The Cuban peso, also known as moneda nacional, is the official currency of Cuba. It is subdivided into 100 centavos. El Himno de Bayamo, the Bayamo Anthem, is the national anthem of Cuba. It was first performed in 1868, during the Battle of Bayamo. Perucho Figueredo, who took part in the battle, wrote and composed the song. The melody, also called La Bayamesa, the Bayamo song, was composed by Figueredo in 1867. The official language of Cuba is Spanish, and the vast majority of Cubans speak it. Spanish, as spoken in Cuba, is known as Cuban Spanish, and is a form of Caribbean Spanish. On October 27, 1492, Columbus sighted Cuba. He named the island Juana. The history of Cuba began with the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492, and the subsequent invasion of the island by the Spaniards. Cuba is famous for its old cars. Vintage American cars from the 40s and 50s are still driving on Cuban roads. Cubans call vintage cars almendrones, big almond, and their drivers pateros, boatmen. There is a law preventing Cuba's vintage cars from being exported from the island. Only Cubans and foreign residents, temporary or permanent, are allowed to purchase cars in Cuba. According to UNESCO, Cuba has an adult literacy rate of 99.75%. Only in a few countries female literacy rates are above male literacy rates. In Cuba, 99.8% of all women aged 15 years and older are literate, compared to 99.71% of men. The largest medical university in the world exists in Cuba. Latin American School of Medicine has been described as possibly being the largest medical school in the world by enrollment, with approximately 19,550 students from 110 countries reported as enrolled in 2013. Cuba provides more medical personnel to the developing world than all the G8 countries combined. In Cuba, the medical university is not a separate entity from health services, but it exists within the system. Medical and nursing students mentor and intern within the national system from the first years of their training, specifically within primary care facilities rather than hospitals. This creates a community-based teaching method rather than a typical hospital-based teaching method. Primary care, being the first level of contact to a patient, is closely located to the patient's home and work. Here, students are exposed to medicine and the social, economical, and political factors that influence health. At primary care facilities, ethics and values are taught as a large part of the Cuban healthcare system, alongside science and technology. Students graduate capable of resolving health issues and knowing when to report to a person higher in the healthcare pyramid. Students graduate with a commitment to providing and preserving quality and equity within healthcare for their communities. The bee hummingbird, Sunsuncido, or Helena hummingbird, is a species of hummingbird that is the world's smallest bird. It is native to Cuba. Females weigh 2.6 grams and are 6.1 centimeters long, and are slightly larger than males, which have an average weight of 1.95 grams and length of 5.5 centimeters. Like all hummingbirds, it is a swift, strong flyer. There are now just 2 countries in the world where Coca-Cola cannot be bought or sold, at least, not officially. They are Cuba and North Korea, which are both under long-term U.S. trade embargoes, Cuba since 1962 and North Korea since 1950. The Tocororo, or Cuban trogon, is a forest-dwelling bird species endemic to Cuba, with a colorful plumage featuring a green back, a blue crest, a red belly, a white throat, and chest. When seen from the front, the colors match those found on the Cuban flag, which is the reason why it was chosen as the national bird of the country. The Mamey Sapote, or Mamey Colorado, is a berry cultivated and consumed in multiple South American and Caribbean countries. It is the national fruit of Cuba. The skin is brown, with texture ranging from that of sandpaper to that of ripe peach, and the meat is salmon-colored and soft. The white mariposa, or jasmine butterfly, is a subspecies of Hedychium coronarium, native to the Himalayas, which grows plentifully in the mountains of Cuba. It is the national flower of Cuba. Cuba's national tree, the royal palm, is a large, ornamental species of palm tree, native to the Caribbean, and the mainland surrounding it. Cuba's national game baseball was introduced to Cuba during the Cuban War of Independence against Spain, after the United States intervention, and the formation of the U.S. Protectorate over Cuba. Spanish for old clothes, Ropa Vieja is the national dish made of shredded flank steak, stewed with some onions and garlic in a tomato base. Here are a few images of Cuba. Enjoy! Thank you for joining us in our journey to explore our world. We hope to see you again. Please subscribe.